What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the right side of the map in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is Mr. Boat. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is Eric. It's currently 2-2 in this best of 5 series. All the momentum is with Mr. Boat. But we have a new map. We have the same matchup. And we'll see what's going to happen here. This is very spicy, to say the very least. Eric won the first 2 games. Let's get a quick recap. In the first game, we saw Eric utilizing the Centaur Hoplite build on Tundra for some incredibly potent success. Mr. Boat could not hang on. In the second game, on the map Blue Lagoon, Eric went in with an incredibly strong Athena rush. Mr. Boat could not hang on. Game number 3 comes along, Oasis. Mr. Boat plays the early game perfectly with a double Ulfsart, claims all of the goats, and is able to squeeze out a win against Eric with his Odin there. Game number 4, we get possibly the most strange competitive mega random opening we've ever seen, where both players did not realize there was fish on the map. There is a notification for those of you playing at home. If you play competitive mega random, there is a notification that says fish is on the map. Both players didn't realize it, and they both went for hunting dogs. And Mr. Boat was able to squeeze out a win there. Game number 5, Eric has to reset. He has to say the last 2 games didn't happen, and he needs to be full focus here in this game, and just forget that happened. Play like he was playing in the first 2 games here. He's on a map he knows. He's on a god he knows. He's playing a matchup that he knows. We'll see what he's going to go for in this game. Mr. Boat, on the other hand here, he's got all the momentum. He can do whatever he wants here, kind of. But he has to also be remembering what he's learned in this series. What he has learned in this series thus far. He's learned that Eric has got the potential to go for Hoplite Centaur into a far second town center. He's got the potential to go for an Athena rush. Those are the things that are very, very scary here for very scary here for Mr. Boat to deal with. We'll see what he's going to do. He's got a decently backed gold mine. He's got a really nice back gold mine over here with the gold mine on the other side, so he can do some back and forth action here. There's also some relics on the map. Got the boots to kick everything. That is a huge relic. That relic really helps out. Really helps out Odin against the Hermes style. If Eric's going to go for that, Eric also might decide to go for Athena here. You never know. Titan's treasure is here. Little bit of an assistance if this game goes late game for the Zeus play. Very rarely do you see Norse being able to get out a Titan, though they can go for a Ragnarok Titan, so it is a possibility. As Freya is on the way, and we get to see exactly what Eric is going for here as he clicks up through Hermes, and it looks to me like Eric is going for an aggressive variant of the Hoplite Centaur build. Is that accurate? I think it's accurate. So the first game when Eric went for Centaur Hoplite, he went for a sneaky second town center behind the early pressure. But maybe this is exactly what it looked like last time as well. I can't remember. We'll have to wait and see if Eric is going to full send with Hoplite Centaur or if he's going to try and grab a second town center here. And what Mr. Boat is going to do as a response. Now, Wall's coming up over here. He does have a lot of hunt in his main base here. And he can drag in underneath his town center. These rhino here, they'll be able to be eaten around about this location here if he so chooses. Finishing up this location over here as well, eating all of the gazelle as best as he possibly can. The Katoskopot's going to be coming in to hit some damage there. We will be seeing an immediate Sylvan Law. Jason coming out. It's a really clean opener here from Eric. He knows this one. He gets Jason, he gets Odysseus, he gets Sylvan Law, and then he gets a Centaur. And then what happens? So he's got the build order down. He knows exactly what he wants to do here. Mr. Boat, he's trying to spam these walls up as fast as he possibly can as the Valkyrie gets bolted there, gets a little bit of damage onto the centaur. There is a cheeky kill here that this centaur could potentially get, but not going to be going for it. And with the relic picked up here, look at the speed of these Herser. They're not... They are basically Loki speed Herser without the Lokiness, as it were. As this wall going to be attempting to get finished off here. The centaur causing some problems. There is always a sneaky way through the outside here. You can run all the way around here and then sneak through the back. So you do have to make sure that you stop that there. As the Herser pushing through, going to start getting some damage onto the Jason. You have to remember that they're speedy now. So you have to kind of adapt to that ever so slightly. And here's the thing. Mr. Boat really shouldn't care that much about losing this gate or losing this wall because he's already managed to get the hunt out of this. He hasn't lost anything there. So he can just move up here and get onto the Rhino and then have a really good time here. As the Longhouse coming up, we see some really defensive buildings placement here from Mr. Boat. He's learnt from the first games. I do want to see the houses built just a little bit more defensive. This house here is not a good house at all. You just see the gatherers over here. Move over here. Don't eat the hunt out of... Oh, no. Don't eat the hunt out of position is what is the name of the game here. This Rhino is running away, trying to force Mr. Boat closer to his town center. And it will be fine here, but it's just one of those things which he could be underneath the town center, basically, but otherwise, not really. We're starting to see Eric moving forward with the hoplites. Does he have villagers on gold? Is he going for a second town center? Looks like the answer is no just yet, even though maybe it's the one that he should be going for at this point here as Eric pulls in, raiding cavalry, moving out here. Mr. Boat here. He's going to be maybe losing a Herser down to 8 HP. Then we'll be able to be healed back up. Takes a while for it to heal up though, as maybe Mr. Boat needs to get himself watchtowers, which he is exactly going for here as the unit's pulling back ever so slightly. Hoplites trying to get involved over here. Town Center getting some good damage done. Raiding cavalry going to be coming over here as the village is retreating away. I like the idea of using the centaurs to defend this because they're going to be able to come in and attack this with only 4 raiding cavalry here. The villagers can turn around, shank, and the centaur can get some good defense in here as well. Maybe going to lose a villager though. 2 raiding cavalry down for a villager kill is kind of worth in a way, kind of not worth in another way. As the centaur will be able to pick off another raiding cavalry. This is super value. Obviously, Mr. Boat is kind of happy with getting a little bit of damage done nonetheless. As the raiding cavalry are going to be retreating away. It does end up falling though. So all those raiding cavalry getting taken down. Good start here for Eric. As Eric's going to be retreating back here. The centaur just hanging out at the moment as the raiding cavalry trying to get through, trying to take out the centaur on this point here. Now Mr. Boat going to be pulling back into the main base for the time being. We'll see how things are going to go. Throw an axeman coming out as best as they possibly can here. And Mr. Boat moves back in here trying to get more villager kills. Not even villager kills, just trying to pick off the throw and axeman. And you can see that this speed boost that the Herser have received in this game is really, really helping here as the villagers coming back in and Eric is taking advantage of Mr. Boat's blunder of not pulling these rhinos further into the base here. As he does push forward though, the centaur getting path locked. Nice play there from Mr. Boat. Managing to snipe a centaur. Very, very rare snipe of a centaur, honestly, in this kind of a situation here. And that was all due to Mr. Boat's control there. Losing his throw and axeman though, he really needs to keep those alive. There's no point in having them in the army. Just leave them back here, and then once basically just leave them back here and don't even use them until you absolutely have to. Seems to be the way to play it. As now Mr. Boat pushing forward, trying to get onto these centaur. A little bit of micro, a bit of a misclick there from Eric. The centaur getting targeted down, retreating back over here again. The rhinoceros needs to get eaten, going to be getting pulled in. We will be seeing the towers helping out a little bit on these fights. Mr. Boat sitting at 75 population of 95 population. Eric sitting at 77 of 77 population, trying to micro this one to the best of his ability, keeping his centaur alive. He's got 2 very low HP Centaur over here. These two Hersa could come in. Forest Fire getting dropped down in the middle of this location. Eric has to pull back ever so slightly here. The Centaur over there, very close, does go down there as well. Another Centaur getting taken out to boot here. 52 population for Mr. Boat to Eric's 66 population. More units coming through here that it looks like Eric is able to hold on in this position. Eric has got himself a lead in this game now that he needs to figure out how he is going to convert. The villagers have just finished up on gold right now, and Eric just needs to figure out how he can get in and snipe that gold mine. He does have a goat here, and this goat on that gold mine does tell him something if he knows the trick. There is a trick with goat scouting, and the trick is you put the goat into a control group. Obviously, you could just look at the map if you remember and you did it intentionally, but the trick is you put it into a control group, and once that control group disappears, that is your reminder that there's something over there. He's moved over there, he's getting the town center, he's getting the gold mine, whatever is happening there. So Eric technically now should know, if he's did that on purpose, that there are villagers on that gold mine here. Meanwhile, Eric is going to continue sniping units over here, and Eric is in a commanding position at this point in the game. Can Eric work this one out, and will he get a gold star? We see a town center going. I don't like the town center here at all. He's got all the initiative here. Grabbing that town center just gives the 700 resource advantage-ish that Mr. Boat has back to Mr. Boat. Obviously, it's going to be helpful going forward, but if he just stays building units here, he'd easily be able to come in and push off this gold mine, easily be able to be continuously raiding this gold mine with Centaur. And then even just like Heroic Age, Mythic Age, Hera, Underworld, all of the standard Athena play stuff here that we see would be very, very, or not Athena stuff, Zeus play here would be very, very good. As Mr. Boat now moving over onto this position. One dwarf just about to go down. Hoplites trying to push through here. How many Centaur do we have? 4 Centaur, 8 Hoplites, 13 hoplites, a bunch of those thrown axemen are here. Mr. Eric's got 94 population. He could have been full population with potentially having medium infantry had he not grabbed the town center here, and this fight would be a very easy fight for him to win. But the Hersa pushing forward, trying to take out the Centaur as best as he possibly can. As the Centaur pulling back, the hoplites pulling away from those thrown axemen, not wanting to get too involved with those here just yet. The Centaur trying to swing around onto the back. The positioning there from Eric, nice positioning there. He's able to snipe some more of those thrown axemen as Mr. Boat has to pull back here as well. Maybe the raiding party there. Rapture Dancer. I appreciate you, my friend. As the Centaur pulling in a couple more units here. We'll see how he's going to go. The hoplite's going to be returning back over onto that gold line here. Mr. Boat's got a decent amount of gold in the bank. He actually leaves the ox cart on the gold here. We'll see if he's just going to be making the move over to this gold mine or not, as farms are starting to come down for Mr. Boat. Eric has got such a commanding lead in this game. How he just needs to convert this lead. We'll see how he's going to go. He does get a little bit caught out of position there as the thrown axeman trying to snipe down one of those Centaur. Doesn't quite manage to do so as the Hersa coming over here trying to get some sort of a building block. A longhouse getting dropped down on that position there, but not quite going to be able to stop that one as the dwarves coming over onto this gold mine. The ox cart still sitting idle here. He hasn't managed to bring it over there. As another ox cart coming over onto that position for the time being here, and we'll see if Mr. Boat now can work this one out, or if Eric here, imagine if Eric was just going to the Heroic Age right now. 700 resources, because he spent that on the town center, plus he's building villages out of the town center, so let's just forget that. But right now, he could be going to the Heroic Age. He could have been clicking Underworld at this point, and the game would be incredibly difficult for Mr. Boat to be winning here, as we see the Centaur getting blocked off there yet again. Eric can't get through here. He can't push through with the hoplites. He has to pull back. Mr. Boat's got a lifeline in this game. He's also going to be trying to pull over here and eat these gazelle. Wouldn't be a bad idea either, as all things are considered. Whole bunch of Toxotes sitting idle over here for Eric as well. He's got all of his buildings down on this bottom side of the map. I wouldn't mind seeing some more military buildings getting placed up the top here for Eric to start pushing in and hitting this one here, as the hoplites pushing through to try and take down the temple, take down this Ford Tower. The thrown axemen are here. The Hersa aren't quite in on this location, but one centaur does end up getting taken down. Another centaur here, very low HP, 13 HP. Good micro there from Eric, pulling that one back. The Herso coming through onto this position here as Eric is making a huge push into this town center. He's losing a lot of population here to make that push happen. He will be retreating back. He does get a decent trade there nonetheless, sniping another throw-on action at the end of that fight here as Mr. Boit is still desperately trying to stay alive in this game over here. Now he's getting himself medium infantry as now the centaur going to be moving back up to the top side over here. So just waiting, watching, wishing, dreaming of centaur kills. We'll see if Eric can get in and get the damage done. The villagers on this hunt here are very important as well. As Eric comes in, the Herso are waiting for him. He's going to have to retreat back for the time being there. As now Mr. Boit going to be pushing back up to the top side. The question is, can Eric just push through the main base of Mr. Boit? Or should he just go for the gold mine? Yet again, there is this tower here worth taking out. He's going to be able to instantly demolish that tower with his hoplites. So now the centaur coming back in onto this position. They're going to be retreating back. Nice snipes there with the Toxotes. As Mr. Boit going to be pulling back. Eric is almost able to advance to the heroic age here. Mr. Boit, same kind of situation. Does he have an armory? Yes, he does. 107 of 105 population. Needs to get that house back down. As the units coming through here, the centaur pushing in onto the top side. Those throwing axemen have completely cleaned up the hoplites here. Nice play there from Mr. Boit as Eric gets sent back packing. And Mr. Boit here has almost got the resources he needs to click up to the next age. Eric here is going to be able to click up to the heroic age very, very shortly here. And he does decide to go through Apollo, getting Odysseus out first. Skadi on the way now for Mr. Boit. We're in a really similar position that we were in game... Was it game one? In game one. But Eric is in the heroic age. Eric has done good damage. And he should be able to convert this in a similar way that he converted game number one. But he throws away all of his centaur there. He wasn't paying attention. He loses those centaur. That is kind of a big deal. The centaur do kind of lose their value going on in the game, so it's not that big of a deal, but he still had a lot more damage to be done with those centaur, and the throw-on axemen are all out here for Mr. Boit, holding on in this game, happily mining this gold mine, just about to finish off these gazelle. He can move over onto the wood after this, no problems here. The centaur just going to be scouting around. Is he going to click onto the wood? I'm sure he will. He doesn't need food anymore. He just needs a pure wood army for the time being, getting himself the hill fort up, getting himself a town center up, getting himself everything he needs here in this game. As there's the heroic age for Mr. Boit. We will be seeing that hill fort getting dropped, possibly also an immediate medium infantry, heavy infantry here as well. And what's Eric's plan here? He's got the gold at the back. He's got villagers looking for a third town center here. He's playing this very safe, in all honesty. Eric is playing this really, really safe, which, while it's not a bad idea, it does give an opportunity for anyone to kind of make this work. As now we see the units popping through into the Underworld passage, starting this fight here. He does not really... I don't think Mr. Boit needs to cast Frost here. He doesn't need to cast Frost here at all. The Toxotes are getting absolutely murdered by the throwing axemen. Eric needs to retreat here. This is absolutely huge for Mr. Boit. He is absolutely destroying this Eric army. Eric's just dropped the town center. He spent so many resources over there. Mr. Boit's still on one town center. His army is gigantic. Think about this. There is a 20 population lead in economy for Eric, which means Mr. Boit has got 20 more population in units here. So he can just take these fights, no problem here at this point. And we cease... Wait, what? Ceasefire? Hello? Why did he click ceasefire? Now Mr. Boit has got free reign of clicking Frost and getting an entire army kill here. This is really scary for Eric. He's made an incredible blunder there. Going for that Underworld play is blunder number one. Clicking ceasefire there is blunder number two. We'll have to wait and see if Eric can hold on here and maintain his composure in this game. He still has a firm grasp on a winning position here in this game, but it's now not simple at all for him to win this one. Mr. Boit is going to be able to make a really big comeback on the economy here. He will be running out of this gold mine really soon. There is this gold mine down the bottom that maybe Eric should put some put some attention on. If he can get that happening, he may be okay. If he can stop this town center from going over to Mr. Boat as well, he could be okay as well. We'll have to wait. He's pushing back through the Underworld passage. He's not learned his lesson here. He's still, well, okay, he's kind of got the extra 15 population with the town center though, so maybe he can win this fight, but the army is just so strong here for Mr. Boat as Eric has to retreat back out. So many more losses there for Eric. Mr. Boat doesn't lose anything there. This Underworld passage is going to be getting taken out here in this game very, very fast here. As the Underworld passage does go down. As now we see the units sitting back here. He's still sending units through here to their demise. As the Underworld passage is down here. Mr. Boat needs to think about getting this town center up. Maybe getting to the Mythic age. Getting another gold mine here is going to be really, really important. And Eric's mistake here has been fighting this position for this gold mine when everything should have been, purpose should have been Underworld here down to this gold mine, securing that and also defending the middle of the map. But now Mr. Boat's army, incredibly strong. Mr. Boat is still behind about 25 population worth of economy, which means all of the economy, all of that population is sent into army. And will Eric be able to work this out? The answer, when your opponent is behind you in terms of villages, is to not fight their army, if you can help it. Obviously, 15 population is still kind of advantage for Mr. Boat by about 10 population. The answer is to not fight the army. The answer is to get tech. Tech up, use your economic advantage, and then fight the army once your tech comes in. Things like armory upgrades here would be absolutely gigantic for Eric. Heavy infantry would be gigantic for Eric. A market, buying some food, going to the Mythic age would be gigantic for Eric. There's the frost coming down for Mr. Boat. He's going to be able to clean up this entire army after all is said and done. And Eric is going to be in for a very difficult position here as a military academy comes down over here. Mr. Boat's villages currently sitting idle as well. Needs to get those started here as well. As the army pushing through, we do see the Odysseus being able to get some decent damage done over here. Mr. Boat not quite paying attention onto this one as some unfrozen units coming in to get some good damage done. Meanwhile, the hoplite over here coming through to deal with this. The thrown axeman does end up going down, so that town center is still not going Mr. Boat's way side here. As where are the dwarves going? They're coming down to the bottom side of the map here. They're going to have to shank down these units as best as they can. I'd love to see just a handful more units coming over here to just help out. Maybe some more longhouses getting thrown down for Mr. Boat wouldn't go astray. He's got 1,000 wood in the bank as frost is about to expire. We do see heavy toxoides has come through. The army surrounding, the Norse army of Mr. Boat surrounding Eric's army really, really nicely here. And technically speaking here, Mr. Boat should be able to trade here decently enough, even though it is defender's advantage for Eric having units pumping out here immediately. Eric's sitting at 130 population. Mr. Boat sitting at 111 population. There's no gold in the bank here. Do we see a market? Yes, there is. He can sell some gold, sell some resources here if he so chooses. We see Eric trying to surround this gold mine as best as he can. A handful of units coming through here for Mr. Boat to grab that town center. And it looks like in the end here, Eric does manage to hold here in this game. But he sees the gold mine down here and he's going to continue to put pressure on. We'll see how he's going to go. He's still got a 20 villager lead here. He does need to get his upgrades. He needs to spend some resources getting armory upgrades. Otherwise, Mr. Boat is going to continue to have a decent fight here in this game. Well, I mean, he's got units coming through across the map. He's not really training units out of everything, trying to get himself the Frost Giants and the Huskarls out here. There's more units popping out of these military buildings here. Can Mr. Boat work this one out? That's the big question. There is Heracles here. There is no Odysseus here at the moment. I don't see Odysseus. He doesn't have his Jason out. So the Frost Giants here going to be very, very helpful. As Mr. Boat now staring down the barrel of an incredibly strong Greek army. Hypaspist also starting to get built here. I would have liked Hypaspist to be built much, much sooner here. For some reason, we're still seeing hoplites coming out for Eric at this point. Hypaspist would completely destroy the Huskarl. Do they have more hack armor? No, they have the same hack armor as a hoplite. Slightly less HP, is that right? 118 versus 143. So the hoplites are slightly better tanks against the heavy throw and axemen, but the damage is just much bigger with Hypaspist. We do see the Heracles getting pushed back here. Mr. Boat sitting at 130 population. Hoplites popping out over here trying to stop the gold income of Mr. Boit. He's got 2,000 food in the bank. Mr. Boit can sell that food at the moment for 77 gold. So he can just basically go to the Mythic age here if he so chooses, as Eric has to retreat back as his infantry force has been taken out here. Still more raids coming down onto this position as we see an attempt at fortress getting thrown up in the back, but he has to break through this wall with the villagers here as Mr. Boit has deflected all of the pressure that Eric is putting in to this game here, as the hoplites will be getting taken down. The large gold mine going to be getting taken down as well, as we do see the fortress getting shot up in this position here as Eric slowly starting to move forward, and we see what can Mr. Boit do here from this position. He still needs this town center, and we see Balder. Balder, for the first time in this series, has been clicked up. Will Eric be able to hold the onslaught that is coming for him is the big question. We will be seeing Mr. Boit still attempting to hold this one on, and I like this Balder for two reasons. One, holding this position, very, very tough here off of 2 town centers. 2, getting your town center up with your Balder and then getting a trade route going and everything else as well might be a position. But 3, the big thing that can happen here for Mr. Boit is he can get a gold star. All the gold is forward right now for Eric, and Eric's economy is, while he's at 80 population, he hasn't been able to spend any of that on upgrades, any of that on building upgrades or anything like that. And the army here is getting, while he does have his fortified town centers now and he's at 150 population, he is not trading amazingly here against these frost giants. The Odysseus is helping out as best as it possibly can. Mr. Boit is able to sell some resources here to continue production, but it is very, very difficult for him at this point. You can see he's sold a lot of food. He's got a little bit of wood that he can sell here as well, as the dwarves are onto this location here. It is a 61 villager Ragnarok, and we do see some ox carts coming through here from this location. Mr. Boit knows it's really important to have 4 or 5 ox caravans out when you click the Balder, when you click the Ragnarok. We'll see if he's going to be able to actually get them out or not. As his Balder is just about to pop here, the units have to retreat back, and Eric is going to have to start thinking about how he's going to be able to hold a Ragnarok moving forward. Eric's got no resources in the bank right now. His armor upgrades are non-existent. His economic upgrades here, pretty lackluster at this point because he's been spending so much on military here trying to push forward. Copper mail coming through. Mr. Boit here has hit the Mythic age. He's got his fire giant in. What is the plan here for Mr. Boit? He obviously needs to get back up to full population first. But what is the plan? Watchtowers coming through, irrigation coming through, town center attempting to get thrown up here. Eric's going to put some pressure back in onto this position here. He's got so many units now to push in to take this out. We'll see how that's going to work. As the throwing axeman getting some good damage done. Units pulling back here. We will be seeing the settlement getting taken down. As Mr. Boit pulls back into his main base for a little bit longer. He's got 6 trade caravans out here. Walls getting thrown up everywhere. Exactly what Eric needs to do. Multiple layers of walls. Somehow be able to survive on a gold mine. I'd like to see fortresses get thrown up. Towers get thrown up here. Mr. Boit just cannot secure this town center. And maybe Mr. Boit doesn't need to click Ragnarok. As I say that, he clicks Ragnarok. Coinage is also coming through. 7 ox caravans. 268 population. Army is going to be retreating here for Eric. Or at least retreating somewhat, as the army is going to be able to clean this up. We will be seeing the walls getting broken down over here, pushing off this gold mine. Is there a trade route started here for Eric? No trade route. I would like to see that happening here. A market trade route up here would be a good idea. As the units push through, Mr. Boit will be able to get his town center set up. He's got a decent amount of farms over here. Excuse me. As the army pushes through, going to try and take down this back town center over here as well. How many resources did Eric have at this moment here? Really just not that many. As he's pushed off all of the gold mines. All the gold mines are within line of sight for Mr. Boit. Is the army coming up here? Do we see... Yeah, we're just basically just going to see Hippaspis hoplites coming through. See what Eric can do to hold this one. As the Ragnarok coming through onto this position, going after this back town center. The village is going to be garrisoning into it. Holding Ragnarok requires some of the most... The best resolve you can possibly muster, because it's just so many units to be a wave over everything. And this Ragnarok is everything right now for both players. If Eric holds this Ragnarok, he will be in for a chance for Champions League. Staying alive, keeping his hopes and dreams alive. Mr. Boit, exactly the same position. If he can win with this Ragnarok, he will be keeping his hopes and dreams alive of becoming the champion of Age of Mythology, sending the heroes of Ragnaroks through to take out this town center. The fire giant pulling away, the town center almost falling. No masons through for Eric. He hasn't been able to afford that one just yet. Does he have himself any armor upgrades? Still no armor upgrades as the town center does fall here. The heroes of Ragnarok pushing into the main base. We've got towers set up. We've got fortresses set up in the main base here. Will Mr. Boat go for that or not? He's coming and cleaning up the units of Eric. Eric's dropped down to 105 population, 100 population remaining here. He's got... How much trade can he actually muster? He can very, very weak amount of trade here as well. He does have a market up here as the army coming through to prevent any sort of retreat path here as well. As Eric's army is completely massacred in that moment, and Eric has to tap out after an incredibly well-played series from both players here. Eric cannot manage to play this Painted Desert game at the level that he played the Tundra game and the Blue Lagoon game. Mr. Boat somehow, some way manages to hold on here and gets the reverse sweep. My golly gosh, what a play here from Mr. Boat. My mind is actually blown that this occurred. I thought for the most part here that Eric had this game won, but Mr. Boat just made the small movements here to chip back, taking advantage of Eric's kind of safe play. Game 5, he didn't want to commit to a one town center play like he should have. Going for town centers, giving Mr. Boat the opportunity to come back in this game. And this is the first reverse sweep of the tournament. Hopefully not the last. Some excitement here, ladies and gentlemen. Eric, however, was not the last we're going to see if he will be in Challengers League. Can you believe that that is the case? EricBR in Challengers League. He's going to be vying for that first prize there in Challengers League and also the opportunity to get into Champions League season number 4. My golly gosh, if you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you guys enjoyed this series, please consider hitting the follow, the subscribe on the YouTubes, leave a comment, do all the good things. My name's Boit, and I'll see you guys in the next game.